The Chevrolet Opala was the first Brazilian car with a six-cylinder engine, an achievement that seemed groundbreaking. But its production required two assembly lines, one with parts from Opel and another with those from the Chevrolet Impala. And that created a hidden problem, a problem that almost brought the factory to a halt. Let's dive into the impressive design of the Opala. We'll understand why it turned heads on the streets. Then, we'll feel the power of the engine and the comfort that only it could offer. And to wrap it up, a detail about the rear suspension that most owners don't know. Get ready to rev up with garage legends. The Chevrolet Opala was born from the best of Europe and the United States. Its design, inspired by the German Opel Rekord, featured elegant and robust lines. It was unlike anything else seen around here. The Ford Galaxy and the Dodge Dart were big, but the Opala had a more fluid and modern look. It quickly became a status symbol, a car that showed you had good taste and purchasing power. Inside the Opala, it felt like you were in a whole different league. It was the first domestic car to offer power steering. This made maneuvering easier and the steering lighter. The dashboard was well crafted, with quality materials and a design that aged gracefully. The automatic transmission option, a novelty at the time, made everything even more enjoyable. With spacious interiors and a trunk that could hold 500 liters, the Opala was perfect for families and road trips. It combined practicality and comfort in a way no one else could. The heart of the Opala is its inline six-cylinder engine. It unleashed 3,942 cubic centimeters of pure power. That's 138 horsepower and 30.5 kilograms of torque. These numbers put it ahead of rivals like the Ford Maverick. Even with its V8 engine, the Maverick felt the weight of the difference in certain situations. The power of the Opala was palpable. It was a constant presence that transformed it into an imposing sedan on the streets and highways of Brazil. Behind the wheel, the Opala envelops you. The deep growl of the six-cylinder engine isn't just sound. It's a vibration that courses through your body. Stepping on the gas gives you an immediate response. It's a push that pins you to your seat. Reaching 180 kilometers per hour is feeling the raw force propelling you forward. Meanwhile, the suspension kept everything under control. In the curves, the car exuded a confidence that invited you to explore every limit with safety and pleasure. It was a perfect dance between machine and driver. The Opala, despite all its glory, hid a little-known secret. General Motors dared to innovate with an independent rear suspension. This was a technological leap for mid-sized sedans of the time. But this innovation came at a cost. Maintenance became a nightmare. Owners found themselves facing hefty bills and complex repairs, turning the promise of comfort into a bitter setback. This difficulty led to growing discontent. The reputation of being a robust car began to crumble. It was tarnished by reports of high maintenance costs. The perception that the Opala was an expensive car to maintain spread, feeding a myth that still follows it today. What was meant to be a technological advantage became a weak point in its reputation. They say the Opala is a car that drinks a lot. The truth is, for a large sedan of its time, it's surprisingly efficient. It gets about 6 kilometers per liter in the city and up to 10 on the highway. The gas guzzler reputation comes from older or poorly tuned versions. It also stems from the memories of those who don't recall the actual numbers. The Opala actually offers an interesting balance between performance and fuel consumption. During the era of the Opala, the competition for customers was fierce. The Ford Maverick boasted an engine that reached 151 horsepower, promising strength. The Volkswagen Santana, on the other hand, focused on fuel efficiency, achieving up to 12 kilometers per liter on the highway. The Opala, with its 138 horsepower inline six-cylinder engine, didn't fall short on space and comfort. It had a 500-liter trunk, but the Opala had something extra. It was strong and spacious. Its impressive design and internal comfort caught everyone's eye. The downside was the fuel consumption. Only 6 kilometers per liter in the city. This mix of qualities made the Opala beloved. But the thirst for gasoline weighed heavily when comparing it to the more economical options. And there's one detail about this engine that no one talks about. The Chevrolet Opala left its mark on the history of Brazilian automobiles. Produced from 1968 to 1992, it sold around 1,500,000 units. This success not only solidified General Motors in Brazil, but also influenced the design and mechanics of cars that followed. The combination of robustness and comfort made the Opala an icon. Today, the Opala continues to captivate enthusiasts and collectors. Remember, families on vacation trips, with the Opala as the star. Classic car meetups, where owners share stories and laughter, keeping the tradition alive. The Opala isn't just a car, it's a piece of history that lives in the hearts of many Brazilians. And here comes the part that left engineers in awe. The Chevrolet Opala stood out as the first national car with a 6-cylinder engine. This innovation changed the perception of what a sedan could offer. It became a symbol of power. With over 1,500,000 units produced, the Opala is remembered with admiration by those who drove and collected it. The Opala became a legend because it combined strength, space, and a certain charm that few cars had. It wasn't just a means of transportation. It was a statement of